Hey, I've built $1 billion company, I cashed out, and now I'm sitting on $10 million. Would you like to hire me for your 9-to-5 job? If you're expecting somebody to come and say that to you, you're wildly out of touch with reality. You've taken your company about as far as you can. You have a few salespeople, revenue feels stable, but you know you can make a bigger impact on the market. The only thing that you're missing is your right-hand man who's gonna come in and capitalize on that market potential. Can't just be anybody. You want someone who's already been there before. You want somebody that took an early stage company from about 5 salespeople all the way to 500 salespeople through multiple rounds of funding and ultimately either to an acquisition or an IPO. Your desires aren't unwarranted. However, they are unrealistic. I want you to think through this logically. What makes you so special? What's so special about your organization that somebody at that level would want to join you? Don't tell me it's your culture. Don't tell me it's your solution. Don't even tell me it's your market. The truth is, nobody believes that their kid is ugly. Everybody thinks that their kid is the cutest kid in the world, as they should. However, this person is rare. This person you're looking for is not on the open market. If you truly had an organization that was worthy of this unicorn, you wouldn't be looking for one. They would have already found you. The truth is, you're just like everybody else, and you're gonna need to put in your own hard work to develop your sales leader. First, you need to figure out what type of sales leader your organization needs. Second, you'll need to figure out what type of objective qualities this person will display if they are the right person. And finally, you're going to need a process that's going to be able to identify and attract this individual. Let's break down how you determine what type of sales leader your organization needs. There is a difference between a wartime and a peacetime general. Is your organization at the point where it's stable, trending upwards, there's no market uncertainty, the opportunities are plentiful, and you just need somebody to maintain and steer the ship forward? If so, then you need a peacetime sales leader. However, if there is a market incumbent and you're looking to overtake them, or somebody else is making some serious noise inside of your industry and you need to destroy their momentum before it gets out of hand, what you need is a wartime sales leader. Another thing you need to consider, is this person responsible for building out systems and processes, onboarding salespeople, and ensuring their success? Because if so, you're going to need somebody that's operationally minded. However, if you're still looking for somebody to find your differentiator and separate you from the market, you're gonna need somebody who's gonna be able to develop a creative strategy. And finally, what type of support are you looking to give this person? What are your expectations of what they will actually do? Are you looking for somebody to build out a proper management structure with sales managers, sales operations, and all the other roles required to support salespeople? Or are you looking for somebody who will simply help take you to that next step by covering all of the above roles? Because that person is gonna be a lot more junior and a lot scrappier versus the other individual who's gonna be more senior, who's gonna look to build a management structure from the top down. This is the first thing you need to correct. If you don't understand this, you'll be barking up the wrong tree. Now, assuming you've already come to an understanding of what type of sales leader you need to be able to identify this individual. Again, there are many different types of sales leaders, and depending on your situation, their attributes will vary significantly. What I will say is the type of sales leader that is most needed in most organizations is a wartime sales leader who needs to be scrappy and held accountable for revenue, as well as developing the sales team culture. In order to identify this individual, you will need to understand the characteristics they will portray. This person is not going to call themselves a servant leader. They may come across slightly egotistical, but there is a difference between ego and confidence. Ego is someone who's looking for all the glory. Confidence is someone who's looking for a challenge. Is this person talking about what they can do or what they have done? I'm always wary of salespeople who talk about the past. I don't care what you've done in the past. All I care about is what you're going to do for me today. In the interview, are they telling you about how they would execute certain initiatives? If so, does it make sense? Do you like the idea? Does it feel aggressive enough and as if this person is putting their neck on the line by making some bold claims? If so, you may just have your wartime sales leader right there. But somebody who's egotistical and has no intention of delivering any results will talk a lot about what they've done in the past. They will offer more questions than solutions, and their go-to line will always be, well, we'll just have to test it and see what the outcome is. My friend, I'm not asking you to test. I'm asking you to execute with precision. I'm asking, do you know how to get results? Because if you don't waste my time. Now that you know who you're looking for and what they look like, you just gotta find them. One place they most certainly are not is on the open market. This person is not unemployed. This person is gainfully employed with some golden handcuffs and they make a serious amount of money. But the only reason they'll speak to you is because they are restricted with their current leadership structure. If I were you, I would look to work with a sales recruiter and focus on an organization that has recently passed up promoting a sales leader from within and brought someone in from the outside. In there, you may find some diamonds in the rough. Now understand, most of these people that you'll be looking at have already been passed up for promotion. This likely means that they are not ready to lead at the level you need them to. However, many organizations do pass up the right person just so they can bring someone in from the outside. So while most have been passed up rightfully so, there is a person on that list that should not have been, and they're pissed off that they were passed up. That's the person I would put my money on. So while you may feel the ideal situation is having a unicorn walk in and take your business to the next level, the reality of the situation is you're gonna need a wartime general before you can get there. This person may be a little bit harder to find, but they will pay off much more in the long run. Your effort on the front end is going to dictate your success in the long term. Hiring the right sales leader is tricky, especially when you don't know what it is that you're looking for. So sit down, be disciplined, and understand this is not an easy process. But when you do find the right person, you'll understand why you waited.